Welcome to this very simple video on how to make digital copies off of a record, or in this case a cassette. As you can see, what I'm doing here right now is streaming the entire cassette without stopping through Audacity. It'll play from beginning to end, which obviously I won't let it do now. And then what you're going to want to do is take out the tracks one at a time and process them into MP3s. And here's how we're going to do that. Now I've stopped it partway through a song. As you can tell by the top there, I'm adjusting the size of the file in terms of how you see it, so you don't have to spend hours going back and forth. I'm going to select, going to clip out a little bit at the beginning and hit those little scissors right there and cut it out. Remember, you'll be able to add 2 seconds between your tracks when you finally mix them into a CD or put them into iTunes. Now I'm going from the beginning of the song, finding the end of the song, where obviously there is a space of silence there. I'm going to select the whole first song. And then what I'm going to do, and some people might disagree about it, but this is my way, I'm going to cut that song. Not copy, cut, and then I'm going to open a new Audacity file and then paste it into that new file. Then what I'm going to do is, again, get rid of the excess at the beginning. Same way as before, kind of shorten it down so I can see more of the whole track at the same time. And then I'm going to export it as an MP3. Now you want to export it as an MP3, not as a wave. If you export it as a wave, the file's going to be huge, and you're not going to want to waste that much of your computer space on it. So export it as an MP3. For the first file, you're going to want to go to wherever it is you store your music for your music player. In my case, it's iTunes. You're going to need a folder with the same name as the musician that you're going to build a set of albums around. If you use the musician, you can put more than one album in the file and it'll all show up in the same place under artist. If you just do it by the name of the album, then you're going to have thousands of files instead of hundreds. So I have a Bruce Springsteen file. I open it. I open a new file with the name of the album, which is Darkness on the Edge of Town. Typing is not my mutant ability. Then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put the name of the song in the file name, obviously. But here's where it gets interesting. When I push save, it's going to want me to put in all these ID tags. Now, with a mountain of records or tapes sitting there and being in a hurry to get them done, you're not going to want to do this. You're just going to want to put in a little bit. My advice is put it all in for a few reasons. The first and most obvious of which is that if you don't, that file folder that you made will store your songs in alphabetical order, like computers always store files, instead of in track order. If you do this, then they'll be stored in the right order for a playlist, or if you want to put them on a copy CD. In addition to that, it just makes everything much easier to find at the end and organize at the end. I've tried it both ways, and I spend a lot more time afterwards trying to get everything to say the same thing, all of the same tracks to have the data, than if I just do it at the beginning. So take the time and have the patience to do that. Now it's taken a little bit of time to make the MP3. But at the end of this session, at the end of this point, I'm just going to dump this file. I'm not going to save the Audacity file. I've already got the MP3. Some people say save everything, but with this kind of massive undertaking, you're going to, again, have acres and acres and gigabytes of raw backup files that you're not going to need. In the worst case scenario, you've got an MP3. You can load that back into Audacity and work with it again. So here I am doing the second song now, just like I did the first one. It's easy to find the beginning. The first few times I did this, I didn't cut. I just copied and pasted. But then I found I couldn't remember where I was, and I'd have to figure out which song was which and how far in I'd come and have to go back to the beginning and track all the time. It's just easier to do it this way. So I'm doing the same thing. I export as an MP3. I type in the name of the second song, which is Adam Ray's Decane. Now remember, if I don't fill in the ID3 tags, when I go back to the file to import all of this stuff into iTunes, that's going to be the first song in the file, not Badlands. It'll be all out of order. And I'm being sloppy here. I've thought better of it, and now I'm going to go ahead and fill in the tags. And as you can see, you all get used to it. It's orderly. It might seem like it takes a little bit more time, but in the long run, it's the easiest and the fastest and the most accurate way to do it. What a great Springsteen classic, Darkness on the Edge of Twan. And there you go. You can see the seconds ticking off there. It's about as accurate as any remaining time file when a computer's doing something with a file. So just ignore it. Wait till all the blue lines are gone and the little blue boxes go away, and then cut it down and go on to your next one. I don't think I have much else to say about this. I'm just going to let the video go on so you can see things to the end. It shouldn't be too much longer. And then I'm going to go practice my typing.